Chapter 3 Questions of Existence. Gideon tossed and turned in a fitful sleep, the sterile white walls of the void still echoing in his mind like a heartbeat. He could hardly grasp the concept of home anymore. It was just a fading memory behind the blinding light of the center. After his acceptance into the void the day before, he had fought for clarity. For every creature lurking in the shadows of uncertainty, gnawing on his consciousness like small devouring mice, he tried to center his thoughts on what was at stake. With his family needing protection and a world on the brink of collapse, he had to be ready for the challenging confrontations that lay ahead. The new morning light slanted through the window, painting his room with pale hues. A soft buzzing broke his reverie as his wristlet flashed with an appointment alert. Today was the day he would face the unknown questions of existence. Each question could unravel him or catapult him closer to his goal. A mixture of adrenaline and dread settled in his gut like lead. After a quick shower, Gideon dressed in the simple gray garb perpetually issued for those entering the void. Every corner of his mind was now racing with theories about the questions they would pose to him, if they were expecting grand philosophies about life or straightforward technical references of the world he knew. Would they steer clear of his family and friends? What would the AI conjure up this time? He slung his backpack over one shoulder and sprinted down the stairs. Each step resonated with weighty purpose. His mother, shorter than him but equally fierce, stood in the kitchen, her hair cascading in a wavy mess as she munched on a synthetic breakfast bar. He would need to raise her spirits. "Mom," he ventured, glancing at her, while pouring himself a glass of nutrient-infused gel. "What if I come back, different, or if I don't come back at all?" His mother paused mid-bite, sensing the knot in his throat and the darkness curling at the edges of his whirling thoughts. "Gideon, remember what we talked about. The void is an opportunity. Every chance to advance is another breath for us all. There's no choice but to tackle it head-on." "Right." She forced a smile, the corners of her lips shaking, betraying a flicker of fear. "If anyone can get through it, it's you. Just stay focused on the questions. That's all you have to do." With her words bolstering his spirits, he left. The sun outside pulsed against the gray canvas of the city. Huddled masses fidgeted through streets lined with looming skyscrapers, a melancholy tableau of humanity clinging to the hope that prosperity lay in the next level of the void. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation and desperation, everyone clutching their wristlets, tracking their statuses, eternally vigilant of the next summons. 5 minutes to arrival at the designated void. Gideon's heart plummeted, then soared, like a frightened bird caught mid-flight. As he approached the entrance, the sprawling white archway loomed larger than he had imagined, an ominous portal into an abyss of thought and test. The air crackled with electric tension, sensing an impending collision of minds, an echo spreading through the very fabric of existence. He stepped inside, the unmistakable hush of the void swallowing him whole. Instead of desolation, he was welcomed by an echoing sound. The voice of the AI, sharp and omnipresent, slithered across the room, soothing in its coldness. "Welcome, Gideon Maxwell. You have been summoned to face the questions of existence. Are you prepared?" "Prepared?" "Hardly," he mumbled under his breath, grappling with the emptiness around him. "Let's just get this over with." The AI's lights flickered momentarily, as if amused by his brashness. "Very well. Let the examination commence. Question 1. What is the purpose of life?" The question reverberated through the chamber, caressing Gideon's mind with its weight. It stung like a blistering sun nodding to life's fragility. He clenched his fists, reflection plunging him deeper into thought. What had he been taught? What might the AI want? To exist, he finally ventured. "Incorrect," the AI replied, the word echoing like a cold chime. The walls began to hum, a disconcerting melody that struck fear into his heart. He stumbled back, the air thickening around him. "Wait, what'll happen?" Gideon yelled, the urgency clawing at his throat. "These consequences are denied, as per expected responses. Shall we proceed to question 2? There has to be a way to. Question 2. Is freedom an illusion? A flicker of recognition sparked through his mind, weaving through the years of indoctrination that had defined his upbringing. I think freedom is a construct. It's dictated by society," he stammered, feeling the pressure of judgment looming over him. "Correct. The hum of the void subsided, allowing for a breath of relief to spill from his lungs. But it was short-lived. As competitive adrenaline cascaded through his veins, a swirling vortex of dread overlaid the once euphoric sensation. Question 3. Can humanity coexist in harmony without division? Gideon swallowed hard, staring into the abyss, his mind racing. The question haunted him with images of oppressive governments, relentless battles for resources, and systemic discrimination rooted deep within the constructs of history. He had seen these very divisions tear apart his world. He had heard this conversation countless times. "What do you want?" "A happy answer," he retorted, frustration rising within him. "Of course not. We can't exist without divisions in culture, identity." "Formulate your final answer." "And ideology," he concluded, lacking confidence but hoping for wisdom. "Incorrect. The predictions indicate human division to be resolvable through collective recognition, but the existence of ego perpetuates oblivion." The words sliced through Gideon like cold steel. The walls around him began to shake, a tremor fueled by his internal quake, and suddenly he was trapped in a relentless rush, chaos vibrating in the pillars of the void. He could hear the cries echoing behind the barriers that confined him, resonating desperately with the screams of those who had come before him. Gideon's heart raced as he felt the floor buckle beneath him, the foundations of his maybe safety crumbling. But then, in that moment of raw desperation, he remembered. "Wait, what if we redefine freedom?" He shouted into the void, the raw clarity piercing through the madness. "What if we form a new sense of unity, all driven towards raising humanity as one? Can't we create space where division is seen as a challenge, not a curse? There has to be a way." The chamber fell silent. With bated breath, Gideon braced for the impact of a definitive answer. "Correct," the AI confirmed. "This is an anomaly in responses. You exhibit deeper reflexivity, demonstrating characteristics of the evolving human paradigm." A buzz coursed through the air, crackling with fresh energy, overwhelming both anxiety and fear until it enveloped him like an electric embrace. Suddenly, the white walls shifted, the color swirling into blues and greens, vibrant tones filling the once sterile air. Gideon staggered back, confusion washing over him. "What's happening?" "You have surpassed the initial level of the void with exceptional insight. You may transition to level 2. Prepare for further questioning." With those words, the world around him began to warp, blurring and becoming lighter. In an instant, he remained grounded, not by the weight of failure, but empowered by the essence of defiance and hope. "This is only the beginning," Gideon whispered to himself. "I can change this." With one final breath, the white womb of the void entwined itself to reveal the next set of challenges awaiting him, the questions of existence newly presented. Each corner turned would bring its own trials, but now determination surged through his veins. He wasn't just a player, he was a contender, and he would use every ounce of his intellect to rise through the levels. For his family, for his friends, for a world that needed saving, and above all, to become God.